Hello YouTube world and welcome to Electronic Box, the channel for gear reviews and electronic gadgets from our everyday life. Maybe a year back I shared a video dedicated to RME Babyface PRO FS and why I ordered 3 of these cards and why I still love and hate them. At that time I truly believed that Universal Audio Apollo Twin X is the proper sound card for me and my needs. Well, today together we will find out if that is still true. I ordered my Twin X and I will try my best to show you in just a few minutes a quick start guide and my real-life experience with this card. The web is full of people liking this card and the same amount of angry owners that have nothing but problems with Apollo. This is for Windows users, by the way. Yes, Mac owners don't have driver or other issues at all. So today let's see if in 2022 anything is changed in the Windows world. First, let me start with the fact that you must buy a Thunderbolt cable separately. A good one costs €100 because the card comes naked, or English polite word is not fully equipped. I ordered Belkin Thunderbolt 3 cable, 2 meters in length, and also my Windows 10 has a motherboard called Gigabyte Designer, which includes a native Thunderbolt 3 connector. Let's see the result. When I opened the box, the feeling was great, with great packaging, superb design, and also a small booklet that explains the most important things. Let me show it to you. Following the instructions, I open the Universal Audio webpage, connect the card to my PC with the Thunderbolt 3 cable, and finally switch the power on the back of the sound card. All works as expected. When you install the software, go to your Universal Audio account and add the device serial number to your profile. Then on your Windows machine, press the Start or Windows symbol and scroll from the program list until you find the 2 UA icons. The first one is the console or the mixer panel. The second one is where you authorize the available plugins. After that, you're ready to rock and roll. I don't want this video to be super long, that's why I'll do my best to stick to the point. Now is the time for the pros and cons comparison between RME Babyface PRO FS and Universal Audio Twin X. First, and the most important for me, is the user experience. For me, the Twin X was great. The usability of this device is a pure joy. Design, great. Button logic, everything makes sense. Almost zero learning curve. The sound is also great. I can say that it reminds me of an old Apogee sound card, a bit warm and musical. And now the negatives. There are not many, but still I want to be super honest as always. Here we'll start with one thing that was my fault. Not Universal, not Windows, just me. During the installation I reached a point where I can't continue. The card was powered and sort of connected, but at that point I was not able to proceed any further with the installation process. The problem was that the driver for Thunderbolt 3 was not installed. Again, this was not Universal Audio or Windows fault, but simply my mistake. Now to the real, some minor, some major drawbacks. If you leave this card for, let's say, more than 30 minutes, the outside metal body becomes super hot. You will start to worry if this is a fault or maybe a bad unit. Some friends also had the same issue, so I presume it is by the design. I will call it bad cooling. For me, it's bad. The second bad thing is the noise. Don't get me wrong, the card is super quiet and preamps and the headphones are great, but some of the plugins are super noisy. For example, if you open the Unison preamp, there will be no noise, then maybe a Pultec EQ, still good. And when you add LA2A compressor, the things become rough. However, LA2A is a noisy compressor, maybe it's not UA's fault, but I don't like it. It is noticeable and this is a negative for me. The third bad thing is the price of the plugins. Some of those plugins can be found a lot cheaper than the UA counterparts. But if you want the convenience to have all the plugins on one card, I guess you must pay the price. All those are minor cons for me and they are definitely not a deal breakers. But the next 2 negatives are huge for me. Please make notes. If you buy Apollo Twin X, all the plugins that you'll buy will be connected to this device only. How about if tomorrow you want to buy X16 interface? Guess what? You have to purchase more and more plugins or the same ones that you already have. For me, this is the only real deal breaker, because you can't make plans to upgrade or expand the setup with another universal audio card. And last but definitely not least negative is the Windows driver. It works, but let's face it, Universal Audio simply can't make proper Windows drivers. That's it. Yes, you have to be careful with the console to have the same sample rate as the Windows settings to avoid cracks and pops, but I can confirm that even if you have the top specs PC, you 100% will face some maybe minor, maybe major issues with the driver. Because Windows OS uses two types of drivers. WDM is for YouTube and other regular Windows applications, and professional ASIO drivers are for any professional DAW workflow. ASIO part is okay, but WDM still has some issues like the following. From time to time there is no sound, and because of that YouTube not runs. After a while it may work, and so on. Let's summarize. Design. Twin-X wins double. Convenience. Twin-X wins triple. The mixer panel of the Twin-X is great, so another point for it. Plugin support is outstanding. Here it wins 5 times over the RME. Sound is subjective. Someone may like the clinical sound of the RME, someone might like more warm and rich sound of UA. Here I will call it even. Now the advantages of the RME. Drivers for RME are great. They work solidly and steady on any operating system, and they are maybe the fastest on the planet. That's it. The quality of the components are sort of equal for me, or maybe just an edge for RME. Last thing is the price. Here is controversial, because RME is cheaper, but if you calculate the value of the free plugins that comes with Apollo, then Apollo is times cheaper than RME. But if you're already using Waves, Plugin Alliance or other plugins, then the RME might be cheaper and better alternative for you. There you have it, guys, my follow-up video for Universal Audio Twin-X against RME Babyface PRO FS. This Apollo sound card stays here in my studio for now, and my RME is sold. Thanks ever so much for your time. I hope this video was helpful to you. If at some point you need a native Bulgarian speaker for projects like IVR, commercials, radio imaging or movie trailers, do not hesitate to contact me and my team at www.bulgariansound.com. From me, Nico, take care, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace.